All right, so welcome to the how it works for flows in TxtCart 4.5. So flows are automated messages that go out the moment a shopper does something on your store without you ever lifting a finger. So let's take a look at what you already have running by default. So today we have open the flows page here, and you can see at the top of your screen your metrics cards. All right, so we have your flow revenue, your active flows, the conversion rate at a glance, and you can see that this account over the all-time or lifetime has generated well over $1 million in flow revenue alone. And that is just with the 8 templated default flows that TxtCart enables out of the box for every merchant on the platform. And you can see it's sitting at a very healthy 16.2% conversion rate. So that's the numbers you want to watch on the flows page. It tells you basically what flows are converting and turning shoppers into buyers, and it's not just sending text that is very wasteful. This is where you're going to see about 80% of revenue come from about 10% of your total spend. So very, very efficient, very important to get this dialed in, and we make it incredibly easy. So right next to the funnel, you will see how many texts were sent out, right, on a per flow basis. You can see how many got clicked. If you have clicked attribution going on, you can see how many were turned into an order, right? You can see how much revenue was generated, the overall cost, and the ROI. So you can see every single one of these flows except for the sunset flow, because we're not optimizing on ROI or revenue here. We're optimizing on list cleaning, is generating a significant ROI. So very, very good to see. And these are, like I said earlier, the 8 core flows that typically we see on accounts generate about 90% of the SMS revenue. So if you were to only run these 8 flows, you are very well covered. You don't have a lot of gaps in exposure in your SMS retention program. That being said, we do have a ton of templates, and we have more templates being added all the time. So as you can see here, we have transactional flow templates with 6 ranging from order confirmation to order shipped to order delivered, as well as promotional flow templates ranging from the traditional kind of welcome series to customer winback to a post-purchase for a returning customer to a replenishment flow if you are running sort of a consumable or a subscription. So diving in before we get into the flow builder, the abandoned cart, if you guys don't know, that fires when someone adds to cart but doesn't check out. Pretty straightforward, very high, very high value, very high leverage. The abandoned checkout fires once they've started the checkout but didn't finish. So this is usually your highest earner, and this is what actually TxtCart was built upon for the last 6 years, is that single flow. Pretty incredible stuff. Then we have the browse abandonment flow here. So this catches anyone that viewed a product but never actually added it to the cart, and we can use our pixel and our identity to basically fire that for a larger percentage of users that otherwise would not have been able to be identified. Pretty cool stuff. Then we have the customer winback. This re-engages people who have basically gone quiet since joining your list. The order confirmation, post-purchase upsell, these both fire the moment that an order is placed. One would confirm the sale, obviously, and the other would try to add to it when the kind of buyer is in the most emotional state and the highest likelihood to convert. Very, very effective. As mentioned earlier, your sunset flow here, this is really for list cleaning purposes. It targets the subscribers who have stopped engaging. We're not really optimizing here for, again, purchases or ROI. It's really to help clean the list and kind of reaffirm folks that maybe are on the list and have been relatively disengaged to see if they want to continue receiving content and messages from your brand. And then lastly, from the 8 default is the welcome series. This is the first thing a new subscriber sees. You can use this for education. You can use this to push a sale, welcome them to the brand, really up to you. You have full access and configurability and, creative willpower really to edit any of these flows or create your own. It's pretty cool. We'll dive into the builder in a moment. And then, so if you don't have these 8 flows running yet, like we mentioned earlier, you can drag and drop any of these templates, get them live. You can edit what you have here, or you can build out a custom flow. So if you are missing any of the 8 core flows, as mentioned before, you can hit the create flow button here or just pull one straight from the template. So really quick, let's dive into an abandoned checkout flow here. Take a look at this page. So you can see here, this is our snapshot overview page for this specific flow. So with this one, it's driven a lot of revenue. This particular merchant has been with us for many, many years, so it's a little skewed. So we can actually go and look over here at the browse abandonment, better representation. So $3,100 in revenue, 70 orders, over 1,500 delivered messages. We're not optimizing for the click here because they don't have the link to actually track the clicks, so we can't actually track that here. And we can see a 4.5% conversion rate. So pretty healthy across the board, only a 1.4% unsub rate. That's really good to see. You want to see anything below 2% historically. 4.5% conversion rate, also very good. And under $2 earnings per message, also very, very good. You can see here at a glance how many messages are actually in the flow. If you have any delays, what those delays are, and you can actually see the content of the message here, as well as a snapshot view of your flow properties right down here. And if we were to want to create a new flow, let's say we want to add in a loyalty offer. We can do that right here, give that flow a name, and you'll see this opens up our flow builder. And this is essentially a very simple to use drag and drop editor that allows you to configure everything down to the finest wire essentially. So you can edit the trigger here, which is right now firing on an order placed. You can toggle once per subscriber on or off. You can check the level of compliance you would like to adhere to. You can give it some subscriber or trigger filters. You can add in a frequency filter if you'd like, and you can configure your cancellation triggers. Again, full configurability over the wait time, right? Maybe you don't want to wait for 5 days for this. Makes more sense to wait for 2 days. We can save that and update it. We have our template here. You can adjust that as you see fit. And then maybe on the second message, we do want to wait a week. And then the second message, and then we'll have end flowed. You have some other options here as well. Perhaps you want to tag folks or branch. So let's say after the second wait period, we are going to let the second message fire and then have a decision node introduced. And we can configure this decision node to do pretty much whatever we want. You can add multiple paths. You can configure the nested condition on what it matches on. You can add nested conditions for or statements. You can add filters, which introduce an and statement. You can get really, really in the weeds here. So for example, maybe we want to add a tag over here. I'm gonna discard. So you can add a tag for unengaged, and then maybe we want to add a different tag over here. And this could also just be, if we have created 2 different types of tags, this could be based on, okay, this branch is someone that did not reply, so we could add them to our unengaged, and then maybe we add a custom tag here for the people that did reply, so we could, we could add a new tag and call that interested, and then we can just auto tag those folks based on the ruling here, or we could branch further. We can do optimized A/B testing, we can do regular A/B testing. Really a lot of things you can do. We can get into a kind of full tutorial on all of the capabilities and functionality of flows, but at a high level overview, this is really what you're looking at here for the flow builder and for the flows product within TxtCart. Like I said, extremely powerful. If you guys aren't leveraging it today, definitely give it a real serious look. And if you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to our live chat support. We are available 24/7 and we are here to help you. So with that, I will let you guys dive into it and we'll see you inside.